Hey everybody, it looks like we're live. Welcome to our 51st Happy Half Hour. I'm Sam Shukavage. Behind the scenes, as always, with me is Amy Dresky, who is making the magic happen. And this week we have a very special guest with us. We have Jonathan Taylor here with CLC Financial. So welcome, Jonathan.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Thank you for being here. And I know we have a notable absence today. My dad is, for those of you who tuned in last week, my dad is on vacation at his cabin in the Uwharrie forest, and he called me up. The fish were biting today, so he's out there just having the time of his life. So we decided that we are going to take it from here in lieu of him today. So we've got a good happy half hour for you today. And for those of you who this is maybe your first time joining in with us, we're flying blind here. We can't see you unless you say hello. So if you want to say hello and let us know you're here, type in the chat and let us know. I see that Bill is here, so welcome, Bill. Also Miranda, hey Miranda. And Teresa, Amy's mom, is here. Welcome.
I love that my mom comes every week. It makes me so happy.
I love that she's here too. My mom is usually here, but I imagine that she's sitting out on the porch of her cabin. I had an opportunity to go to the cabin myself this weekend, and it is absolutely beautiful. I see why they chose it to go and get away. It's absolutely lovely. So and Cindy's here. Hey Cindy, welcome. So I know that we like to talk about, whatever national day it is. Amy, so I know we have two of note. So what day is it today?
So today is National Bomb Pop Day, which I love because, popsicles in summer and bomb pops, red, white, and blue, fantastic. But it is also Pralines Day. I mean,
National Praline Day. Jonathan, this is has to be close to your heart, right?
It is. I love pecan pralines is one of my favorites, and absolutely, that's I just think they're great year round. So absolutely, yes, big fan.
Yeah, why would that be? Can you give us a little insight?
Yeah, why
you feel that way?
Yeah, why do you love praline pecan?
So my family has a pecan orchard, either or. So it's like an hour from here, and we're pecan growers. So we're expanding, growing. We have about 1,500 trees we planted, and then this year we planted about another 700 or 800 more trees. So we're a little over around 2,300 trees right now, and growing. So we're really excited. And it started out as like a hobby, and it has just grown into this like full on. It's like, this is fun. Why don't we do this? And then it's like, whoa, this is turning into real work. But it's really, really fun. And you can tell a huge difference in store-bought and like homegrown, local, fresh. It's just night and day. So we're excited, and the people that try them absolutely love them. Anytime you can buy local, I just can't, emphasize, like, it's just so much better for everybody. It supports everybody, but the consumer benefits huge. So we're excited. We love it, and just something I do on the weekend. So that's why I love pecan pralines. So it's dear.
My dad and I, we have you bring in bags of your pecans for us. One of the cool things about pecans is that they are, as far as I know, the nut that is lowest in carbohydrates. So for my dad and I, we both were doing keto for a while, or we were doing low carb diets. And I mean, Oh my goodness, a handful of almonds versus a handful of pecans. There's no comparison. Pecans are amazing. And
Yes,
huge.
they're great. And there's so the also they have they're full of a really healthy oil. And that what they're doing now is squeezing these pecans, and getting the oil out of them. And you can cook with this oil, and it's just delicious and way healthier than store-bought oil. So that's pretty exciting. Another health benefit.
Oh, that's very cool. And also right before we got on, we were talking about, is it pecan or pecan? And Jonathan tells me that even amongst pecan or pecan farmers, it
Yeah.
is kind of a regional thing. It's not necessarily a right way to say it. It
Yeah,
just
it's like an ongoing joke. Everyone from depending on your areas tries to correct the other. So I don't think you can really mess up saying either way. So I it's personal preference. I don't think you're wrong.
you heard it here first from a professional pecan farmer. Whether you want to say pecan, pecan, you are totally fine. But we have a few more people who have tuned in with us. We have Ed. Hey, Ed. And Dave and Pat are here. Hey, guys. Paula's here. Deb, you've tuned in for the first time. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you. Ray. Hey, Ray. And Patricia and Paul. Hey. Brad, hello. And Dan and Barb are here. And Linda's finally found us. Well, we're so glad that you're here as well, Linda. Oh, and Tammy's here too. Tammy and Ray, Nadine. Oh, and it looks like my dad has come in off of the water, and he and my mom are taking a break, and they must be sitting here as observers today. So hi, Mom and Dad. This is weird. It must be weird for him watching us. And I see that Barbara's here. Hey, Barbara. And Deb is here. Deb and Jay. And Mary's here. Mary is one of our employees. Hey, Mary. And John. Bill, you're right. All right, Bill, we'll get down to it. Bill wants to talk about Medicare. Jonathan, this is why we're here. So many of you who are our clients have already seen Jonathan, and Jonathan's actually sitting in our upstairs conference room right now. Jonathan and his father own the building with us. And Jonathan, one of the things that he specializes in is Medicare and Medicare supplements. So we thought this would be a great time to have him on and have him talk a little bit more about this with all of y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And I look to be a resource if you guys have questions. This can be a lot, and it can be it needs to be specific to each person. But I'm just going to go over a few things and some highlights that I hear some of the same questions and kind of answer some of those. But I wanted to kind of go over a brief kind of overview of kind of how it works and just some things to be aware of. So with that said, the original Medicare is it's a federal health insurance program for people. It's for people who are 65 or older. People who are under 65 can qualify for it if they have certain disabilities. But it is generally it's for people who are 65 and older. It's administered by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, also known as CMS. That's who administers original Medicare. You have a few parts to Medicare. I'm just going to go over the most common parts that everyone is, it's going to affect everybody. But Medicare coverage is broke up into a few different parts. You have Part A, which is hospital insurance. That's going to cover that's going to cover your hospital coverage. It's going to cover things like inpatient hospital care, skilled nursing facility, home health care. So a lot to do with the hospital and home health care, and basically hospital care is what Part A covers. Then you have what's called Part B. That's your doctor services. So when you go to see a doctor, you know, you may not need to stay in a hospital. You just want to go see a doctor and have that service, and outpatient care, also preventative services. Those are services covered by Medicare Part B. So those are the two that people are enrolling in when they turn 65. When you turn 65, you are automatically enrolled in Part A. So you really don't have to do anything to be enrolled in Part A. For Part B, if you've signed up for Social Security, Medicare will go ahead and assume that you want to go ahead and enroll in your Part B as well. It's pretty much done automatically. A lot of times what they'll do is send you a letter and say, hey, would you care? Or they'll say it like this. They'll say, hey, if you don't want your Part B, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and enroll you in your Part B. So when you sign up for Social Security, turning 65, they go ahead and enroll you in your Part A. You don't have to do that. And then when you're 65, they usually, when you sign up for Social Security, they go ahead and enroll you in Part B. This can get confusing because some people, especially some of our clients, and I know Dave's clients, they not everyone signs up for Social Security at the same time. Some people wait, some people see advantages to prolonging it, and some people see advantages to starting it early. So that's kind of on a specific case-by-case necessity or need based on each person's need. But if you delay your Social Security, just keep in mind, we run into this a lot, that your Part B, you won't be signed up for your Part B. You really actually have to notify them, because they're not going to enroll you. If you had enrolled in Social Security at 65, they'll go ahead and start the process. If you prolong Social Security, they really wait for you to reach out to them and tell them, hey, I want to go ahead and start my Part B. And why you would want to do that is you don't want to be subject to any of these penalties for not having what they call credible coverage. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, but just keep in mind that your Part A and Part B you're eligible for at age 65. Moving on, there's some other parts to be aware of. There's what's called Part C. So we have A, we have B, and then we have Part C. Part C is what they call, otherwise known as the Medicare Advantage plans. Those are, the Part C replaces what A and B do and supplement what they don't cover. So A and B, you have to have those to sign up for C, and C really replaces all of those and encompasses A, B, and what those don't cover. So those are called Medicare Advantage plans, and those can be very beneficial to people. You know, based on each person's needs, I really can't recommend without looking at each person if it may be a good fit for you. But just be aware that there's two avenues to take. There's signing up for A and B and then getting a supplement, or signing up for Medicare Advantage and going, which is replacing A and B. So you really have a fork in the road about what kind of supplemental or more coverage than original Medicare offers. Those are your two choices. So supplemental plans or Medicare Advantage plans, that's where people hit a fork in the road, and we like to go through and explain the benefits of both. I will say some of the advantages with the supplemental route. The network of doctors is huge. I mean, if a doctor accepts Medicare, you're going to be in network with a supplemental plan. With the Advantage route, if you go that route, we just really need to make sure that your doctors are in network and they accept those plans. Those are your networks with the, or plans with the networks. So just a differentiation between the two, and those are some of the bigger things. And lastly here, as far as the parts go, we went over A, B, what C is, which is the Advantage plans. And fourth we have is your Part D, as in drug. If you have original Medicare does not include a prescription drug coverage. So you will need to get some kind of drug plan. Some of the Advantage plans include a drug plan inside of them. The supplemental plans don't cover the Part D drug plan, so you'll need to get a standalone drug plan for those. Those plans don't have to be expensive, by the way. The Part D drug plans, I mean, they don't have to be an expensive. We usually recommend something that's really affordable for people. Now it's based on each person's needs, but if you're just taking generic brands or something that's not a very expensive drug, usually a general low-cost Part D prescription plan should meet your needs. But again, I can't really recommend that because, without looking at each person's prescription. So, again, I'll keep saying this throughout, but if you have questions, what we do is we meet and we go over your list of drugs to make sure that the plan that you're looking at meets your needs, because obviously you don't want to sign up for a Part D drug plan and your drug's not covered. So having someone review that with you. We can go through. So when are you eligible for your Part A to sign up at initial time for Medicare? People can sign up and enroll and apply for Medicare. You have 3 months before you turn 65. You have the month of your birthday month, and then they give you 3 months after. So you have this window to sign up at initial turning 65, when you initially turn 65, to sign up for it. We get a lot of questions where they're like, when do I enroll in this? So 3 months before your birthday, the month of your birthday, turning 65, of course, and then 3 months after is your window to sign up for a plan. What else here? I see a few questions. I'll go a bit more, and then we'll look at touch on some of these questions. A lot of people ask me what it costs. Part A should not cost you anything. It doesn't cost most people anything. Depending on how long you've worked in how many quarters, it's based on how many quarters of work you've done. You should qualify for Part A. It should be $0. Certain people, though, I'll put the disclaimer, if they haven't met a certain work criteria, they may have to pay for the Part A. Part B does have a premium. That one is based on your income-related adjustment income. A lot of people call it IRMA, but for the standard Part B premium, I think this year it's $148.50. Usually it'll adjust a little bit every year, but $148.50 is the standard cost for your Part B premium. So A shouldn't cost you anything for the standard person. Part B would be $148.50. And then depending on the supplemental plan you go with, those can vary depending on age and then your region. So depending on where you live at, those prices can vary. And then your Part B drug plan. So those are your 4 expenses, or I should say 3, because A is free, but those are your 3 expenses just to be aware of. And we can go over this stuff, but I get a lot of questions about what does it cost? What do I have to pay this Part B? I just got a letter from Uncle Sam saying I owe $148. What's that about? So yes, you do. If it comes from CMS or Medicare.gov, then that's coming from Uncle Sam. That's definitely something to pay attention to. And yes, that's what your Part B cost will be. And that's adjusted by, they go 2 years back and look at your income from 2 years ago. And that's the income that they use to charge you for your
Now,
Part B.
Jonathan, so beyond, I know you have A and B and you have drug that is D. Now we talk a lot, you've been talking about the advantage plans and the supplement plans. What are the kinds of things that they cover that A, B, and D don't cover?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a few different things here. So Part A does cover a lot, but there's a lot that it also does not cover. There's about a $1,500 deductible that you have to meet. And a lot of people aren't aware that that deductible is per benefit period. So you have benefit periods throughout the year that will restart several times. So
It's not just annual.
Yes, that's correct. It's per benefit period. So you have a lot of exposure with Part A. Your Part B premium,
right?
yes, exactly. Right. Your hospital, right? Your Part B, people will use your Part B to go see a doctor and help pay for copays. So your Part B, the supplemental helps cover those costs. So your supplemental plans cover all your deductibles and all your copays and your prescription coverage with your Part D. This can add up and really be a lot for the average person, because until you meet these high deductibles, your plan doesn't really do anything. So if you're used to having a good plan, especially through work, it's going to be a bit of a surprise when you see this thing doesn't do anything until you meet this deductible, not even a doctor's visit. So it doesn't have to be some big expensive plan either. There are some really low cost affordable plans, but I would say regardless, you need to make sure that you do have a Part D plan. If you don't sign up for a Part D plan, there is a penalty for signing up for it late, if you so choose to later. So that's the one that you get hit with a penalty. And then if you don't sign up for Part B when you're eligible, there's also a penalty for that too. So we really want to avoid those. And we can help you look at some plans to kind of, so you won't have any penalties. And again, they don't have to be expensive plans. They can be very low cost plans based on your needs.
Mm-hmm.
I see a question here. It says, how often can you change your supplemental and or advantage plan? That's a great question. So your supplemental plan, technically you can change that any time during the year, supplemental plans. Now, why would you want to change your supplemental plan throughout the year? Not sure if you would. Typically, we don't recommend that, because it's good to sign up and pick a supplemental plan one time during the year, because you don't want that. You don't want your plan to restart, and you don't want to lose any credit that you've got in your plan. So just keep in mind that switching plans, it can make sense for some people. I will say the advantage plans, you can't change those. You can change October the 15th through December the 7th. That's the only time you can change those plans.
Only during the open enrollment.
Right. Outside of initial enrollment. At initial enrollment, there is no open enrollment period. It's when you turn 65, you can sign up at any time, whatever your birthday month is. Yeah.
So, but the supplements, they have more flexibility, but you may not want to use them, or you may not want to take advantage of the flexibility because of paying up the deductibles and stuff?
Yeah, it can just go down a rabbit hole, but essentially, here's the thing. They allow you to change a plan because your plans, they change your plans in June is when the benefits of plans change. However, in June, they do allow you to change to a like-to-like plan. So they'll mail you out something saying if your plan is going to be changing in the future for next year, they have to mail you out, hey, your plan's going to be changing. These are some things that are changing. A lot of people call us too and ask, hey, do I need to be worried about this? My plan's changing, and we'll look up their doctors and the drug coverage and make sure that nothing's going to be dropping off, because if you think something's going to be covered, we just really want to check and make sure that it will continue to be covered even after it changes.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things to know, I would assume, about being on Medicare is once you start Medicare, you should be taking a look at that maybe every year.
Yes. The plans will change every year. The plans will change every year. Maybe one plan may not change, but for the most part, even if the plan itself doesn't change, the price may change a little bit. So there's something usually about the plans that will change a little bit. Could be drastic, could be a small change, but just keep in mind that the plans kind of change a little bit each year. It's something that's ever changing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like your Part D or your Part B, deductible, that goes up every year with inflation. So just things to be aware of. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a good question here. The Advantage plans. Advantage plans do cover dental and vision. Now, they do cover dental and vision, but I just want to say a disclaimer there. And I see who's the football player, the quarterback, Joe Namath, get dental and vision and includes all this. And yes, he's right. It does. The Advantage plans can and do cover dental and vision, but something to keep in mind is that the dental and vision that's offered through these plans that they build into a plan, they have limitations on them. So they're more or less like for preventative or for checkups or for a teeth cleaning, but much more than a preventative or teeth cleaning or eye checkup. Just be aware that these plans do have limitations. So they're never going to be or take the place of a standalone plan. Just keep in mind that if it says it has dental, yes, it does have dental, but really in the fine print, you just need to be aware of the dental is pretty much a teeth cleaning. If you want anything more than that, it's best to start, probably consider a standalone dental plan, something more comprehensive that's going to cover fillings and, maybe extractions or bridge work, stuff like that. That's where you'd want to get some kind of a standalone plan or even a vision plan, something that covers eyeglasses, contacts, and actually gives you an allowance, not just an eye checkup once every 12 months. So just kind of be aware that it's in the details that they do include that stuff, but they are limited. So just be aware of that. That's all.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So I do see that we have a number of more questions, but we are pushing up here on 5 o'clock. So and so many of these, one of the things that we've learned about Medicare is that so many questions are very individual. They're not easily answered in a general sense. And if you have any questions about something that is specific to you, Jonathan has kindly said that he will happily, be willing to answer any of y'all's questions. He works with us and most of our clients. And I think that Amy's going to put his information in the chat. So feel free
I've been putting it throughout. So
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
might get a little bombarded later, Jonathan. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
feel free to reach out to him with any of your questions and he can help answer things more individually. I did see a question from Paul. Paul, if you're trying to figure out the income levels for when Medicare costs increase, that it's actually a whole chart. And if you were to Google Medicare IRMA limits, IRMA, then you can have access to the chart. But that's a complicated answer too. So a lot of the questions that we see coming in are not easily answered and are going to be something that you have to be addressed on an individual basis. But I do also have our favorite part of our happy half hour is our wine drawing. So Jonathan, I would have loved for Jonathan to be able to pull the name out of the hat, but unfortunately he's about 25 minutes away from me. So he just gets to watch. So for those of you who are not aware, each week we give away 2 bottles of wine that are going to be delivered directly to your door from Fermental Bottle Shop located in Ogden. They are a really cool family-owned bottle shop. We broadcast live there a few weeks ago, did a little wine tasting. And to enter, you just have to say that you are going to our Facebook event, click going, or respond to any of the emails that we send out during the course of the week, or pretty much any way that you can get in touch with us and say that you want to be entered into the wine drawing, and we will get you in there. And our winner this week is Sarah W. So congratulations, Sarah. You are our winner this week. And for those of you who did not win, please keep entering. I love putting your names here in this jar and hope to draw your name next week. And thank you so much, Jonathan, for joining us this week. And we may have you back on again whenever we're here in October for open enrollment, where we can dive back into the topic of Medicare.
Yeah, and I won't mind, like maybe we want to consider doing just like a Q&A where just send in questions and we can just kind of, answer these questions as they come in. But I feel like there's a lot of questions that a lot of people have the same question that if we answer, we should be able to help people out with that.
I think that would be a cool thing to do is next time maybe we'll do a Q&A because we ran out of, we ran out of time for people's questions, and I would love to have a chance to really dig in and answer those for people.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. And thank you, Amy. And thank you everybody for joining in with us today. Next week, my dad will be back. We don't know what we're doing yet, but it's going to be great. And so we hope that everybody is enjoying this beautiful afternoon and has a great weekend. And we will see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.